Thank you. Thanks.
And his pride and joy will be given all the time he needs with the very best care. Alice and Bruff there watching, now getting out of the way. As we see Nick Rockett coming home from I Am Maximus, who looked like he wasn't enjoying it for a second. He's run an amazing race.
Run an amazing race. Didn't jump anywhere near as well as he did this time last year. Maybe the fact that he didn't get his run in the Bobby Jew, maybe as Ruby said, that might have affected the chance he had to win. I thought Grange Clare West ran a huge race. As you said, he was the last horse that I think the late David Thompson bought. I see his son Richard down here today, so I'm sure they and Lady Thompson will have enjoyed the fact that he ran so well in the Grand National. Larocco ran a good race. He travelled very well and he kept going better than I thought he would.
Interesting on the race IQ, you were saying that I Am Maximus didn't jump quite as well. Well, the winner, Nick Rockett, gained a 27-length jump advantage on I Am Maximus, so it's there in the stats that he didn't jump as well today.
My one wish for the race, romance.
You got it.
And my word, we have got it. Nick Rockett has won the Grand National for Stuart and Sadie Andrew.
Time, and they've gone. Perfect start. Down towards the last in the National. I Am Maximus on the outside of Nick Rockett. I Am Maximus in second. Grange Clare West in third. And up towards the line, it's Nick Rockett's Grand National for amateur Patrick Mullins.
Oh, what's better than a hot shower? Winning the Grand National?
The shower's more achievable for him.
Paddy Power, proud sponsors of racing on ITV.
What a friend does, what a friend does to you. Through and through.
That caring friend. Every heart deserves one. Benecol, proven to lower cholesterol.
Tesco finest Côte d'Ivoire dark chocolate and orange egg, now just £6. Or our finest hot cross buns, any two for £3 with your Tesco Club card. Well, that's Easter cracked. Helping you celebrate Easter. Tesco, every little helps.
We've supercharged Sundays with free electricity to do whatever you want with when you use less during peak times. EDF. Change is in our power.
Harrison Ford, the icon, bagpipe players. Never in a million years.
Glenmorangie, single malt Scotch whiskey.
Nice.
With a simple search, you can discover the world. Doing things like this. And that there. Or even this. Wherever you're going, discover tours, tickets, and attractions at getyourguide.co.uk. Unforgettable travel experiences.
There are many evenings in, many little catch-ups, many big gatherings, many friends, many juicy conversations, many dinners, homemade or close enough. But there's only one Gordon's, and the alcohol bit, totally optional. Shall we?
At Money Supermarket, our mission is to help you be better off. That's why we'll give you a £15 reward when you switch your car insurance. And when you keep saving with us on other bills, we'll give you even more rewards. See how much you could save with Money Supermarket.
I'm in. Now, you ready for a good day?
He was a scientific hypothesis. She was a clinical study. And the future breakthrough that could cure her is closer than ever. With our research, we can keep saving lives like hers. Donate now to turn science fiction into reality.
Hey!
Which prominent UK person is this rhyming code for? The time starts now.
Find out the answer on all new The 1% Club tonight on ITV1 and ITVX.
I need to do my hair. There might be a photo finish.
Ah, don't worry. You'll be too far at the back to be in focus.
Ooh la la.
Paddy Power, proud sponsors of racing on ITV.
We have just witnessed a Randox Grand National we'll remember for a very long time. The winning owner, in memory of his wife, and the family affair for the Mullins. A proud mum, a dad training the winner, his son riding. Boy's own stuff. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed the most extraordinary Randox Grand National. The Mullins Grand National. The trainer having 5 of the first 7, having a 1, 2, 3, a father and son winning combination, and an amazing winning owner. Please welcome to the stage, Entry Chairman Julian Taylor, and founder and managing director of Randox, Dr. Peter Fitzgerald, and his wife, Newlyn. First, please welcome to the stage, representing the owner of the 4th placed horse, Iroko, Noreen McManus. What a race the horse in 3rd ran. The first of the Mullins top 3, Grange Clare West. The last horse bought by his dad, David Thompson. Representing Cheveley Park is Richard himself, along with Arthur, George and Louis. In second, and what a brave performance from last year's winner, heroic runner-up, I Am Maximus. Please welcome to the stage, J.P. McManus.
Unbelievable, well done.
Okay. And now to our brilliant winner, Nick Rockett. A rocket sent from the skies. Sadie will be looking down, but please congratulate the winning owner, Stuart Andrew. This is one of the great training performances. 5 of the first 7, a 1, 2, 3, the incredible Willie Mullins. Wife Jackie leading on what is going to turn into a Mullins family affair, because the winning jockey is Patrick Mullins. Sarah with him. Their youngster will be proud at home. And the stable staff who dedicate their lives to looking after these wonderful animals. Katie Walton has looked after her beloved horse who's been washed down, cooled down, and he's okay. And please congratulate her. Katie Walton. Well done to Katie, and that concludes the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the 2025 Randox Grand National Champions.
And it's time to look back on it and find out here in the Analysis Hub exactly how Patrick Mullins won the Grand National for his father. That one meant a lot, didn't it?
Oh, it meant a lot to everybody. It's magic, absolutely magic. But there's a whole race to discuss, Ollie.
There
so
sure
let's go and have a look at it. I always believe when you get to the start of any race, you should line up where there's less horses. That was on the right of this race. I mean, look, there's your winner. And the third is right beside him in the red colours. The second and fourth are down here in the white cap and the blue cap. But to me, he was always go where there's less horses. Patrick Mullins said he almost got too good a start. And you can see the horses on the right-hand side were well ahead of the horses on the left. There's too many of them down the inside. They're stopping each other. Whereas on the right-hand side, those horses have room to gallop into. 300 through 5, Hewick, Stumptown across the front. Not Stumptown, Broadway Boy across the front. And Nick Rockett pinged the first. Manila Cocooner in the purple colours. Middle-ear shot, purple with the white cap. Manila Cocooner launches at the first with Johnny Burke and lands in a heap at the back of it.
He's actually run really well considered because he made a few mistakes on the way around.
He did make a few mistakes. Now Stumptown here, Keith Donoghue down towards the inside in the green colours. He does not grade at the second fence and he actually never got in a rhythm. Stumptown makes a mistake here on the Keith, jumps across in front of Manila Indo, who bumps into Appreciated, and that knock-on effect is into Twig on the outside. So, you know, Stumptown's race was never really going to plan.
We lose one at the third, and that's Dufflecoat.
Dufflecoat, yeah, landed on the ditch, and the blue colours down the bottom. Stumptown made a bad mistake as well. They're back towards middle right here shot. Stumptown takes off in the dark green colours. He lands on it. Dufflecoat lands on it and just sends his rider to orbit.
That was an independent mistake from Stumptown, wasn't it?
That's what happens though. That's what this place does. Stay away, Faye, in blue colours, so wherever I can find him out here. Made a small mistake there, but again, he was struggling. And Cocoa Beach at the very back, the grey horse, he never really got going, did he, Ollie?
He was running in his fourth national, Cocoa Beach, but he was never really travelling today.
No, he wasn't. He didn't like it the first two times either. But look, Broadway Boy's got a great gallop. Twig or Hewick is outside him, and they went a really good gallop here, and they strung them out the pace of the race.
We heard about the race IQ stats from Adele. That was the first slight mistake from Iron Maximus at 5.
It was. Paul Townend's in a very similar position to where he was last year. Beau Port is just in front of Nick Rockett as they head down to Beecher's Brook. Iron Maxima pings it down the inside. Grange Clare West made a little mistake, but you know, they all got over Beechers, I'd say, pretty happily. 3-car Bragg in second. Iron Maximus down the inside with the white cap. No one really.
Well, Nick Rockett slightly corkscrewed there.
Slightly corkscrewed, but not overly bad. Fine Avon and Broadway Boy in front. He just launched at it and made a slight mistake. But I'd imagine at this stage, Ollie, Paul Townend would have been really happy as to where he was. Fine Avon, you can see Broadway Boy, he gets quite low. By Maximus jumps through on the inside in the white cap, and I'd imagine Paul, Manila Indo on the maroon colours in the middle, a little bit jittery. Canal Turn, watch how far they all go right. It's like, it's great riding, and especially for the person in front. They have to make the line for everybody else. And Tom Bellamy made a great line. Vanillier and the grey horse, he cut the corner really tight. So that's great riding from Sean Flanagan, but it's hardest for the guy in front to cut that line properly.
It's amazing when you see how congested they get at Canal Turn. Now, early on in the race, the grey at the back in the green colours, Intense Raffles, one of the big fancies. He wasn't really going today.
He was never going, but all Intense Raffles' form, Ollie, was on soft ground. And you can see with the pace of this race, down here at the bottom, he's going nowhere. And that's where we lost Percival de Galwa. Green cap, white star, about to take off now. Middle ear shot, catches it, knuckles over. He just got too high behind. It's a funny thing to say about the change in fences, but if you actually get too high behind, gravity just takes over, and that was the end of Percival de Galwa's race. Manila Cocooner jumping through in the purple was fine there, and you know, there's a few guys struggling. Appreciated Monbeg Genius, Intense Raffles, so I'm going to call Fusa Raffles at some point. He was struggling for very early on. 3-car Bragg gets up beside Broadway Boy at the ditch, which will be the fourth last on the next circuit, but you know, look at the distance this camera is showing you between first to last. There's a really good gallop here to spread them out, and the more spread out they are, the less congestion there is, the less room for havoc there is.
We're getting towards fence 13 here. Your eye was drawn to Grange Clare West in the Cheveley Park colours, also travelling well with Brave Man's Game.
In the red, he was. Nick Rockett is just inside. Just inside him, Senior Chief inside him in the light blue colours under Dara O'Keefe, beside Manila Cocooner. They was travelling strongly. What else did you pick up, Ollie, that was going
Brave
well?
Man's Game on the outside in the orange.
Brave Man's Game in the orange. He was going well on the James Ridley. He loving it, he was.
Great to see him
talked down at Beecher second time even, he had a really good chance. But the race does slow down a little bit now as we head to what will be the second last in the circus time.
At what stage are the jockeys starting? I know it sounds obvious, silly to say starting to ride a race, but at what stage are they starting to plan the later part of the race? Their horses are now seemingly, certainly the horses up front, in a rhythm.
Personally would think at this point, Charlie Deutsch coming into your shot here at the bottom and Cocoa Beach, they're planning the race. It's time to pull up. Intense Raffles is the same. That's about the only planning that's really going on at this point. There's 4 or 5 to the back that realise now their Grand National dreams are over.
Biggest fence on the course is coming up, though, the Chair Ruby.
It is coming up, and the only one who doesn't really fly it is the horse in front, Broadway Boy. He's bowling away with Tom Bellamy, but he's the one that takes a chance in front. The rest of them, in fairness to them, with all the space, and it doesn't look like much, but with all the room between the horses, everyone gets a good sight at it, everyone gets a good look at it, and therefore they all jump it really, really well.
Coco Beach's 4th Grand National ended. He was pulled up at this fence. The eye was also drawn in the blue cap to Meeting of the Waters, who ran a really good race and in the end finished 5th.
He did finish 5th, and I'd imagine he'll end up at next year's Topham. He's just got out the top of your shot there right now. He doesn't quite get home. He didn't get home last year. Willie thought maybe as an 8-year-old he would get home now, but he didn't. And we've a few pulling up as they head out in the second circuit. Here's the water. Broadway Boy pings at Beauport, 3-car Bragg, Brave Man's Game. Again, the amount of horses that are jumping really, really well. Twig, poor old Intense Raffles, the ground was just too quick for him.
Monbeg Genius just left his back legs in the water a bit.
Slightly, but he didn't look to have much in hand. And like these ones at the back are really starting to struggle. If you're back here, it's not by design. It's because you can't be any closer.
Let's do it all again. Second circuit.
Then away they go, out in the second circuit. Jump Page. Royal Pagoi pulled up at the very back, so too does Intense Raffles, but not very much happens down this part of the track. Patrick Mullins must have been delighted with where he was on Nick Rockett. Jumped that fence really well. Mihal Nolan was having an absolutely brilliant ride on Celeb that end as well for the 13-year-old. He had a great tune out of him and must have really enjoyed what his experience. Hitman bowled away for Freddie Gingle. Horansu Dari there in the purple.
I mean, what a run from Michael Keady's runner. 150 to unnaming a price, but gave him a real cheer.
Talk about a trail. You're heading down to the 3rd fence in the second circuit and you're 5th in the Grand National. Beauport just in front of you, and it was really, really good.
Okay, so out in front, Broadway Boy, Nick Rockett, the eventual winner, has just sat off them. Patrick Mullins asking him for a stride here, and he delivers.
He does deliver, and he's good at it. He's quick at it. Conflated is the next one, is starting to struggle at the back. So too is Vanillia. Irroco's beside down at the bottom of your shot. We'll just pick him up as they land away. I don't want to put a marker on that because it'll jump out of the screen on us. But Irroco's back here beside Meeting of the Waters. They're trying to sneak away, and Can Do Kid, his Grand National is about to come to a close.
Irroco actually saw the trip out pretty well in the end.
He did, didn't he? There's Can Do Kid goes. He brings down Appreciated. Stumptown has gone right of him. We can see it on the right-hand side here now again. Broadway Boy misses. Look for Can Do Kid. Blue, grey horse, down he goes. Appreciated has nowhere to go, and Stumptown has to jump over them. And Harry Cobden jumping out of the way there. He's athletic, isn't he?
Absolutely, like a gymnast.
He is. Watch, but you see,
he just gets too close to it.
Yeah, he just got a bit close, caught it. The momentum takes over, and so too does gravity. Unfortunately, Sean O'Keefe has nowhere to go. He gets brought down and Appreciated. Watch Stumptown in the blinkers. Even though he should have tunnel vision, he's able to duck around. Look at Sean Flanagan looking down at Sean O'Keefe in the red colours. He doesn't want, as a rider, you don't want to hit another rider, and he's looking out hoping he's missing him, and Harry Cobden landed on his feet and caught Can Do Kid.
Beechersbrook, second time round. Meeting of the Waters makes a mistake here.
He does. Meeting of the Waters. He'll come into your bottom of your shot in a second. So too does I Am Maximus. He makes a bit of a mistake. And beside him is Meeting of the Waters. A couple of small errors, but nothing massive. But that's the pressure of the race. You've gone now to well over halfway. You're sort of 3/4 the way into the race. And yeah, there's a bit of pressure coming on. Stumptown at the back just wasn't his day, was it?
Minella Kakuna in the purple travelled well here, but just always, when Johnny Bowe wanted him to run well, he just kept getting a few mistakes, didn't he?
He took a chance there at Fine Haven, which is not great. Watch him here in the white cap, purple colours. He just stands too far back and lands on Fine Haven. And all those small mistakes add up to sapping energy out of you.
Okay, moving on to fence 24, and Hewick makes a mistake here.
Yeah, Hewick is here under Gavin Sheehan. He ran a great race, but just made a mistake there, and that momentum just knocks the momentum out of you. And Horansu there, he had to go right to get around him really quickly. Fieldor was struggling. If you watch Hewick in the green colours about 6th, he's going to make the mistake. Right behind him is Horansu Derry, and to avoid jumping into the back of Hewick, he ends up going wide and right. Senior Chief, blue and orange, he got a great turn, so too the Brave Man's Game. Vanillia was struggling at the back, and then we jump on. We'll go skip Fine Haven and move on one.
Yeah, Broadway Boy took a nasty fall at fence 25. We'll give you news on him as soon as we get it. Hitman pulled up at fence 26.
Probably no surprise in that. He was going to get appreciated, going to struggle to get the trip. But look, Brave Man's Game, 3-car brag. Celeb Dallane has almost landed upsides in front. Nick Rockett is 5 or 6 lengths off the leaders at this stage. But look, when we were watching this live, Ollie, we were looking back through the field. What's going well at the back? And you were looking back for I Am Maximus, who's starting to creep a bit closer as they go to the third last. You're looking for Nick Rockett, who's just in front of them. But they're 5, 6 lengths off the leaders. Down the inside too, you have Iroko. You have Iroko here in the middle. Meter the Waters in the blue cap. Rachel Blackmore was drawing your eye, and Manila Indo in the maroon with the yellow stars. 3-car brag is dropping back through them. All these horses are moving forward together.
Is Patrick now already plotting his route through the horses in front of him?
I'd say Patrick Mullins is thinking, I'm going well. I'm heading to the home turn in the Grand National. I've just gone inside Hewick. I Am Maximus is outside me. He's calculating loads of things, but he's not thinking about the winning bust. Grange Clare West has gone to the front. Grange Clare West has gone to the front, but again, look at the gap that opens up for Patrick Mullins. What a run he gets through there. I was too slow that time. But
Nick Rockett wasn't too slow.
He took the gap. West is in front of the second last. Manila Cocooner, Nick Rockett, I Am Maximus, Meeting of the Waters. At this point, Ollie, Willie Mullins has the first 5 in the Grand National as they head towards the last.
He wouldn't know where to look, but his eyes.
He knew exactly where to look. He's looking at one horse. He is like, there's millions, I hope there's millions of people watching this race, but he is like everybody else. He's a parent. He is looking at his son.
Did you think I Maximus here would get the better of him if they came to the elbow?
I thought possibly going to the elbow he was going to, but always in the back of my mind was the fact that he's only had 2 starts this season. He missed the Bobby Joe, and from here up, that's what tells. The Grand National is an absolutely stammering, sapping contest. Grange Clare West after making that mistake at the last runs on, but I can imagine Willie Mullins standing in the stand. And as I said, like, I know there's a lot of people watching this, but there's loads of parents watching it, and all anybody wants in life is to give your children a chance and give them every opportunity they can. My daughter's playing football for Kildare today, and I want to be there watching her, but I can only imagine what William Mullins felt.
I can hear the emotion in your voice, and you know what it's like to win this race for your father. You did it on Papillon for your father, Ted, in 2000. This year, Patrick Mullins winning on Nick Rockett for his father, Willie Mullins. A remarkable training achievement, the first 3 home. Nick Rockett wins the 2025 Grand National at 33-1. I Am Maximus second. What a run, trying to defend his crown. Third was Grange Clare West. Brian Hayes, 4, trainer Willie Mullins, 33-1. Fourth, the best of the British, Iroko, the 13-2 favourite. Fifth was Meeting of the Waters at 20-1. Runners 6-10. Well, Senior Chief gave Darrow O'Keefe a great spin. Manila Cocooner travelled well, made a few mistakes. That probably put pay to his winning chance, but he's run with credit. Hewick's run a gallant race in 8th. Manila Indo, 3rd last year, 9th this time around. Twig gave Bo Morgan a great spin for trainer Ben Pauling. Runners 11-15 include Brave Man's Game, who travelled really well for a long part of the race, and Horansou Dairy for Michael Keeley, trained in Newmarket at 150-1. Some run that. And the 16th and final horse to complete the 2025 Grand National field was Chantry House. Special feeling winning the race for your dad, isn't it?
It's a magic feeling, but like all of Willie Mullins has achieved, and we watch him at Cheltenham, and we watch him win the British Trainers' Championship last year, and everything that he's done, and Jockey as well, because Jockey is a huge part of this operation. For them to put their son on a horse to win the Grand National, I'm delighted for them.
You saw it meant to Willie Mullins. Congratulations to Nick Rockett, your winner of the 2025 Roundox Grand National.
And there he is, Nick Rockett, the pride and joy of the Andrew family. Just an update on other horses and jockeys. Jockeys all absolutely okay. An initial update following the race reads as follows. Broadway Boy and Celebra Dallane are being assessed on course by expert veterinary teams. Further updates will follow in due course. We're off air at 5 o'clock. We'll hopefully bring you more news. Before we speak to this lot, this is what we call organised chaos. Winning owner, winning jockey, winning trainer. We've got the winning groom, Katie. Jackie Mullins, the proudest mum in the country, I think, right now. We'll speak to them all in just a moment. We'll get the latest on our heroic winner, Nick Rockett, as well. But what about the beaten jockeys? Let's find out more.
Johnny Bett, Manila Cocooner, your saddle had gone.
It went going to the first. So from the standing start, when I kicked him into stride, it went. I spent the whole first circuit wondering, will I keep going? But he was winging and travelling, and I was never in danger of coming off. So he just raced a bit keen, but yeah, good run.
I Am Max, it's obviously disappointing to get beat, but he's run a great race.
Ran a huge race. Probably took me through the race a bit better last year.
I don't know. Look, he run with credit again. Big result for the team, but a bit sickening to be beat.
James, you had a fantastic spin.
Yeah, he gave me a good ride. He got into a lovely rhythm. Managed to, well, he didn't have to dodge the follow, but he saw him falling a long way off and got out of his way. He just got very tired. I thought he would have stayed on better than what he did coming for home, but he just didn't quite get the trip.
Kieran, outsider, but he gave you a great spin.
Class, he jumped brilliant. Got a bit excited after Canal Turn, but probably stamina ran out a little bit at the end. We got home and it's going to be a lot of fun for Connection, so delighted.
Great Clare West, and what a spin you had.
Oh, some spin, jump for fun. Ran the race of his life. He did something similar in the Gold Cup in Ireland, but repeated that today off a good 11 stone 8 on his back.
When did you know he was going to run a big race?
Just going out in the second circuit. I just gave him a breather, and then I just started winging fences down the back again. And I actually probably went into Paul Town and has a nice little pocket down the rail. He took that, and I just kept winging fences all the way up the back, all the way to Melling Road. Gave him a little fill there, and geez, I thought he was going to maybe do the business. He just got into the bottom of the last, landed out on all fours a bit, and that cost him momentum and probably cost him second place anyway.
John Joe Rocco's run a race of his life, really.
Yeah, very happy with him. Just found everything very fast early on, was a bit on his head. Probably could have done with the ground being slower. But he warmed up into it, and I thought I was creeping into it nicely. Just didn't have the horse. Saw Paul come up my outside after the third last, and he had a good bit more than I had. But he's run on well after last, and another year on his back. Look forward to coming back again.
Sean Three-Card-Bragg, he's run out of his skin.
He did, yeah. He gave me a brilliant spin, but he was just doing too much the whole way. I was handier than I would have liked, but I just couldn't settle him anywhere. And he was jumping so well. He was just jumping into the bridle every time. And look, hopefully he'll be back next year, older and wiser.
Keith, Stumptown?
Yeah, I just wasn't able to lie up early. Got too far back, wasn't able to travel on the ground.
Beauport, you had a fantastic ride.
Couldn't ask for a better spin. One mistake I made was I kicked him out the gate and he ended up doing way too much.
Just travelling, just loving it, wasn't he?
Yeah, just really enthusiastic. There's one thing you can't afford to do around here over 4.5 miles is race too enthusiastically, but learn another day.
Hewitt, the fairy tale nearly came off at one stage, I thought.
I was getting excited after Canal Turn. I was like, right, that's kind of job done now. It's just conserve, but he travelled great. It took him probably a circuit actually to figure out the fences, because the second circuit I got a much better ride off him, and he could go down and approach him in a better way. He figured him out and he was clever, but I kind of knew my fate going into third last, and I was like, could he relive that moment like the King George, that he'd just stay on and outgrind him, but it wasn't to be. But he's come back, he's safe, he's sound, and just needed a sprinkle of water on him there. But yeah, look, he's a superstar and he'll be back again.
Thanks, man. Really kind of Bye.
Joining the party's Ruby out of the track from the Reef Lab. Never seen you so happy. Magic.
Jackie is worried about Patrick riding in the bumper here.
He needs to lose a pound as well, so he's sweating it out in the sun. He's fine. He's fine. But I'm going to start with the most important person, Katie. I hope you don't mind this, Stuart.
That's fine.
Katie, how is the hero after the race?
He's perfect. He got a little bit warm, but no, he's perfect now. The team downstairs did a great job with him, and we're lucky to have them there.
How proud are you of him?
I'm so proud. There's no words. There is no words. We're lucky to have him.
Fantastic. So good to hear he's all right. Well done, you. Here we go then, Stuart. You were quoted as saying, out of such sadness after you lost your wife, such joy has been born. Nick Rockett has done it all for me. Sum up what a thoroughbred can do for a human being.
Well, sometimes life takes us down roads that none of us really want to go down. And when we're there, we can end up in not the best places. Nick was saying his horse, and she'd asked Willie to find her a horse, which he did. I think she'd probably been badgering Willie to get him ready to run in a bumper at Fairy House for my birthday, for my 60th. And before that, we got a bad set of results that we weren't expecting at all. Sadly, she passed away on the 8th of December, but he finished 4th. At Fairy House in his bumper, and after the race Willie had a chat with us and said, don't worry, Stuart, this is a good horse. Straight away he ran his bumper at Thurles and absolutely dotted in. Won a maiden hurdle at Naas, where I inquired with a trainer how he'd schooled, and you might have to, his words were actually not very good, but he still thought he'd win, and he won. And then he upped the target with him to a grade 2 straight away at Fairy House, which I thought, whoa, this is a big step. And he duly won by 15 lengths pulling up.
And here you are,
winning
the Grand National.
And here we are winning a Grand National. Sadie would have loved it. Like I say, the target were the Thyestes at Goran. This was sort of born out in, let's say it were quite early morning in a really classy joint.
Should we have a look back from 2 out?
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you.
Let's look.
You and I could go on for ages. Right, Patrick, talk us through this.
I've landed here, I've gone, balls, I shouldn't be in front this soon. Paul had said to me he might do a lot in front, so I've just sat on him, let Paul up beside me. I didn't know it was Paul or Danny. We come down, we jumped the last really well, and I dabbled in my head with sitting back up, but I just said I can't. And I've just tried to keep my stick until we get to the elbow, because I've always heard about Richard Pittman saying that's what he should have done with Crisp, and Paul is beside me, and I don't know what I'm going to find, but once I get to the elbow and pick up my stick, he picks up and goes away with him.
Ruby Walsh isn't often lost for words. He says he still hasn't found the words 25 years later of what it's like to ride a winner for your dad. Can you?
No. Look, I didn't even know how to celebrate, so it's just very special.
What's it like, Mum?
Very special.
How proud are you?
Very proud. 3 upsides, jumping the last. We were riding them home, and of course, Paddy was the one I wanted to win.
Come on now, Jackie. There was 5 of them, and you definitely were wrong for Patrick.
It's amazing that JP McManus, when he watched this, had 3 of the first 5, and he's nothing like the most successful Irishman in the race. Willie Mullins, you have done something quite extraordinary here, and I've never seen you so emotional afterwards. This means a lot.
No, well, it doesn't get any better than this. I think to sire the winning rider, train the winner, and have Jockey here, have everyone here, and just, the way we planned this with Stuart over, $10 bottles of wine down in Australia. And we missed our restaurant and we ended up in some nice place. But anyhow,
Willie, it was
the dearest wine on the list.
It was a classy joint, Willie. The wine list was either white or red.
But anyhow, all great plans come together, and
this was the plan.
I went to school with Sadie
Ed Stewart
years ago, and
you went to Holy Communion together, didn't you?
Yeah, and I met her years later at a sale, and we went for a cup of tea in Cheltenham one day, and she said we must buy a horse, and here we are.
But Stewart texted me sort of late February. Do you think we should supplement them for the Gold Cup? So I said, yeah, I'll say it to Willie. I said it to Willie, and he said, just tell him we're sticking to the plan. I wasn't part of this red and white conversation, but anyway, we were sticking to the plan.
And Willie, now you're odds on to be champion trainer again here out of nowhere. Are you going to all guns blazing now for the next few weeks?
Yeah, I think I've Mr. Casey back on duty, entering horses in Perth and Ayr and Catterick and Carlisle and Fakenham and Fontwell and wherever.
Amazing. Racing's going to be delayed here. You might have more time, Patrick. They're still assessing and treating. I think it's Celebre D'Allen who's out on the track. Both horses are being treated at the minute. I don't think we'll be able to update you more than that before we go off air. Now, unscripted, if you want to go behind the scenes on our YouTube channel, that will be good fun. You'll be able to see that later on today. And then next week, Willie Mullins, I imagine,